Alright, so in order to have this discussion on how strong, comparatively speaking, Super Saiyan Blue Goku or the Super Saiyan Blue transformation in general is compared to Super Saiyan 4, you would have to either disregard GT as non-canon to the story or look at it as some sort of parallel universe because of the fact that GT, story-wise, comes after Super, because of Super, then there's the end of Z, and then there's GT, and Goku and Vegeta as fighters, they obviously continue to progress, as Saiyans do. Every fight, every adversary, every foe, they get stronger and stronger. So story-wise, they would have to be stronger in GT regardless. So if you was to actually have this discussion or this debate, you have to look at GT as non-existing or just in a different universe. Not to mention the fact that GT totally disregards anything because obviously Beerus and the transformations weren't created. That happened in Super. Like, there's no mentions of Beerus, the gods, Super Saiyan Blue, the God Key. None of that is even mentioned in GT. So again, in order to have this discussion, you gotta look at GT as non-existent or just in a parallel universe. And even looking at the end of Z, you gotta kind of wonder if that could potentially be an alternate ending as well, because the end of Dragon Ball Z treats Kid Buu as if he's the last really strong adversary that they had. When they're mentioning about Oob and how he's the reincarnation of Kid Buu, and they're kind of like, scared even talking about that, it kind of makes you think, okay, wow, so in this universe, this is still where Buu was the last fight that they had. But in Super, we've seen foes that at this particular point, Kid Buu is weak compared to. Like, if you look at Black's feats and you look at Beerus in general, like, Kid Buu is pretty much an ant compared to them. They would squash him. So that's another thing that kind of, messes with the dynamics of how strong something could be, when if Super is supposed to be before Z, but Z is treating Kid Buu as the strongest and Kid Buu is weak compared to Beerus and Black, then unless we're getting like a horrible ending of Super where everybody's gonna forget everything that happened in Super, the God Key is gonna disappear, then it's safe to say that pretty much, there's some sort of distinction between what happens after Super and what actually happens in Z. But if we're going from Z to GT and how it treats Kid Buu as the base of strength of where they gotta go, you gotta think for a second. Pretty much in Battle of Gods, Kid Buu's power was already toppled. They already made it like nothing. Like, at that particular point, Kid Buu was pretty much ass because Goku got the God transformation and he was able to somewhat be, I think it was around 70% of what Beerus was, and Beerus again annihilated Super Saiyan 3 Goku like he was nothing. Remember, he flicked him away. So Goku already at that particular point established that he was miles and leaps beyond Kid Buu after the fight with Beerus. So if you compare that alone to the end of Z, the beginning of GT, where Goku and them are still kind of referring to Buu as he was some sort of great foe, you would look immediately and say, well, if you watch Super a couple arcs, you already know that he pretty much wasn't much compared to them anymore. But then let's talk about the actual transformation itself, the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan Blue transformation, and looking at Super Saiyan 4, which, to be honest with you, I know Super Saiyan 4 I think was coined by either Elder Kai or Goku, something along the lines of that, but you could even argue if that's really the proper name of the transformation, because we had all the Super Saiyan transformations up until that point having the yellow hair. It was yellow hair, then it was spikier yellow hair with electricity, then it was really long yellow hair. So you get to Super Saiyan 4 and it's kind of just like this gorilla look, which, don't get me wrong, no matter what you say about GT, there's a couple of points I will always defend about GT. One being that the ending is absolutely amazing, and another being the Super Saiyan 4 transformations look sick as fuck. But then you could also argue again, is that really even a Super Saiyan 4 transformation, or is that some sort of Uzaru True Saiyan transformation? But that's besides the point. If you look at it, it's essentially connected to them going into their Uzaru form, because in order for them to get to that Super Saiyan 4 point, they have to first transfer through the Uzaru stuff. And if I'm correct, Uzaru was always either 100 or 10 times pretty much the strength that you had. Your base level was jumped either 100 or 10, something along the lines of that. So essentially, Super Saiyan 4 seems that it's somewhat like that, maybe a bit more of a jump ultimately, and you get to contain it in your body, but it seemingly is something like that. So if you're getting that type of jump and you look at like Super Saiyan Blue alone is, an incredible feat. And again, Super Saiyan Blue is far out even with Super Saiyan God. When Goku went Super Saiyan God, I believe that Super Saiyan Blue is already far past that based on the feats we've seen again. So you gotta compare it like that. But then on top of that, don't forget that Goku can also use the Kaioken times 10 with the Super Saiyan Blue. So that's multiplying what he already is as a Super Saiyan Blue times 10. And again, don't forget, we're cutting out the fact that GT continues after Z GT and supposed to come after Super or whatever. I think in and of itself, the fact that the God mode Goku is probably far beyond Kid Buu, and then on top of that you have the Super Saiyan Blue transformation that is even above that, and then the Kaioken times 10, I think that's more than enough to already say that, okay, if Super Saiyan 4 was essentially just kind of like a jump, and let's just say 100 or maybe 200, whatever the case may be, in power level of what Goku was at that particular point, and Super Saiyan Blue is ultimately a far jump from what Goku was even at God mode. And again, in the GT storyline, they're considering Kid Buu as he was just this incredible adversary, when in actuality in Super, he's already been, dwarfed in power. Then I honestly would argue that, yeah, Super Saiyan Blue potentially is probably stronger than Super Saiyan 4 at the very least. Again, assuming that Super Saiyan 4 is from an alternate dimension or something like that and is not continuing the story. Now, if we're talking like the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Goku and Vegeta fusing, compared to like Super Saiyan Blue Goku or Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, then no, I would say that that definitely would dwarf them, because it was like 100 times Big Bang Kamehameha. Like, that move right there alone would probably obliterate either of them, because again, that's a combination of the two. So if we're going in that direction as far as comparing the most ultimate strong transformation in all of GT, which was that fusion, then no, I would still say that that fusion itself would probably mop the floor with either Super Saiyan Blue Goku or Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, assuming we don't see some sort of fusion, because if we see fusion of them and we see like Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta or Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, there's an argument there as well. So yeah, in essence, what I'm saying is, if we're taking GT as non-canon or a parallel universe, then you could definitely argue that Super Saiyan Blue could be stronger than Super Saiyan 4. However, if you're looking at it connected and it's 100% canon, or it's a continuation after Super, which again would leave so many plot holes and so many questions, then ultimately, obviously, you would probably have to say that Super Saiyan 4 is stronger, considering Goku and Vegeta will always continue to get stronger as the series progresses. Unless, again, there's some sort of horrible ending of Super where everything they learned and every foe that they fought is forgotten, and they get back to what they were at the end of the Buu saga, which would be horrible. But let me know what you guys think. Again, how do you feel regarding Super Saiyan Blue Goku versus Super Saiyan 4 Goku? Do you think there's a possibility Super Saiyan Blue Goku is stronger than Super Saiyan 4, or you think it's stronger either way? And again, if you're assuming that it's canon, do you think that there's a possibility we could have a horrible ending of Super where everything is forgotten, and that's how GT starts off with, oh yeah, Kid Buu was amazingly strong, we need a match against that. Like, I think even during like GT at some given point, Goku's like, oh, I haven't fought a foe this strong since Kid Buu, and you gotta think like, what? Did you forget Beerus, mate? What about Goku Black Lad? Even that fucking Zomas fella, mate? Any overall thoughts of this? But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm World, and as always, people, have an awesome day.